my name is Erin Larson. I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist, and today we're going to talk about how to encourage speech and language skills with these Fisherprice Megablocks. Right, these blocks are definitely a staple. If you're about to have a baby, if you have a baby, put this on a baby shower list, a children's birthday list, Christmas list, anything. You can, my bag is a little worn out. We've had these for close to 7 years at my house. All right, and they're still well loved. And I want to point out too that it says ages 1 to 5, and even my almost 7-year-old plays with these with this set. And so in this video, we're going to talk about how to play with it over the years. So if you're watching this and your child is older or is more advanced, we're going to get there, okay? We're just going to start with the babies and kind of work our way up. So if you need to skip ahead, that's cool. If you want to watch the whole thing, that's cool. But we will get to more of those advanced language skills as the video goes on. All right. So I'm going to, so with those early little ones, so we're talking about those close to 1-year-olds, even before one, they can start, they're going to start taking them out. They're going to dump them out for sure. So I'm going to dump some out. And these blocks, know that in the beginning, they do not have, children do not have the motor skills yet, the fine motor skills to put them on. So we're not worried about that. Not only do they not have the motor skills, but they don't have the play skills either. Children, just like we have this hierarchy of language skills and they learn language by building it up, play builds up too. So in the beginning, they're not gonna stack, right? They're not gonna build things. What do children love doing? They love knocking it down, right? Let me scoot back a little bit so you can see better. They're gonna love knocking it down. So that's what we're gonna do. And that's what my son right now is doing. He's 1, he just turned 1. It drives his siblings crazy, but he is gonna knock down whatever they build. And I try to explain to them, that's what level of play he's at. Now he's starting to want to try to start putting them together, but his favorite thing is still to knock it down, or he likes to take it off, right? So with these kids, that's what we're modeling. That's what we're going to talk about, is when they knock it down. So we build it, and we might even say on or up, as we build, and then down, crash, or something like that. We're going to make big, silly crashing noises. We're going to say fall down, or even better, we're going to say uh-oh. Uh-oh is one of those early exclamation noises, those early words that children say. And they think it's really silly too. So as we're building, and I'm going to hold on to it so they can't knock it down yet, we're going to be like, ready, set, knock it down, knock it down. Oh no. All right, let's build it again. Up, up, up. You ready to knock it down? Okay, knock it down. And so we're telling them what to do. So that's going to work on like following directions and like following those simple commands. We're telling them, knock it down, right? Knock it down. Oh no. Uh-oh. And we're going to do it over and over and over and over and over again, right? So that's how we're going to start with play with those kids. And then as we work up from there, then they're going to start building with them, right? They're going to start wanting to they're going to move from that like destructive play where they're just knocking things down. They're going to gain that motor control, and they're going to want to start to build. So we can use some of our core words. So whether you want to say on, or we can say like, let's build a tall one. Let's build it up. Whatever that word is that you choose for your child, that's what you're gonna do. And so we're building up, and then we're definitely gonna still crash it down, because at this stage, maybe we can get them to say uh-oh, and things like that. So okay, knock it down. and see if you don't say it, if they'll look at you to try to get you to say it, or if maybe they'll look at you when you go, and they'll go, uh-oh, and I'll be like, oh no, uh-oh. Again, we're just making it very silly, very animated, and fun. All right, one last thing before we move to like that next level. One last thing is we always want to continue our activity and continue, let me back up a step. This is a good activity for like attention to task and increasing that attention, because we are being silly with it. They're more likely to attend to it. They're more likely to make our play longer. So when you have a child that's like jumping from activity to activity, we want only these blocks out, and we want to do silly things with them to make them interact with us for longer, because we want play to last a long time and for them to be engaged, because that's how they're going to learn language. So we want to extend. So one last thing we can do is if we're done with this activity for that child, we are going to clean it up. And this, I mentioned in a previous video, and if you need to go watch that, about how to teach a child to wave bye-bye. I use this example of how we say bye-bye block, in, bye-bye block. So whatever you're working on, whether you want to wave bye-bye, say bye-bye, put them in one at a time, whether you want to work on that core word in. But what we're doing, not only are we transitioning the child to the next activity, so we're done with this one, we're going to clean it up, and we're going to move to something else. So cleaning up is a really great transition, and it helps your child move to another activity, because it's like a clear ending. Like, okay, we're going to be done with this, we're picking it up, and then we're going to do something else. But not only is it a good transition, but we're also teaching them to clean up, which is great, right? And honestly, babies, little toddlers, they love this, because they are natural little helpers. So, and natural little imitators. So if you're doing it, I promise you, they are more than likely going to do it. And make it a little game. Let's toss it in. Can you toss it in? Wow! Yay! You did it! All right, let's do it again. Wow! Yay! Make it a little game of you tossing it in. But you go in, or bye-bye. We're going to say bye-bye blocks. Okay, all done blocks. Let's close it up. Close it up. All right. One other thing, I meant to mention it, so we're going to back up just a step before we move to some older ones. But there's also, if you're trying to get your child engaged, maybe they don't want to build it. Another thing you can do is this really funny like sneezing game. We call it the achoo game. So you put it on your head. So maybe you're just trying to get your child to interact with you. You put it on your head and you go achoo. And they think it is like the silliest game, and you just keep doing it. Ready? Achoo! And it keeps falling off your head. Babies love this. They giggle. They want you to keep doing it over and over. Maybe that's when you can incorporate some signs. Oh, you want mommy to do it more? Again? Okay, ready? And see what they do. See what they do to get you to do it. And then maybe they make a vocalization, maybe they gesture, and then achoo! And so just another little fun game you can try, and you can do that game with anything. It doesn't have to be blocks. Anything silly to put on your head and do the sneezing game. That is a great one to get your children to interact with you. Okay, so as we move further along in language, so that's just those were ideas to get your children to interact with you, to kind of build up some of those play skills, because they need those play skills before they can start vocalizing and using words. After you do that, so this is getting into more higher level language, then we can start getting them to request and ask for the blocks. So I say in every video, you need to be the keeper of the pieces. So we are gonna have this bag zipped up. They can't get into it. A lot of times some kids can get in with the zipper, but a lot of times they can't. But I am not letting them open this bag. I'm not letting them hold this bag. I'm the keeper of the pieces always. And so what I want to do is they want to play with these blocks. Okay, we need to open it. All right, ready? And this is my favorite gesture, early gesture to teach is the knock knock, because a lot of times they can even use an open palm, but we're going to teach that cause and effect to get something open. So to get a need or a want met, they want these blocks. So in order to do that, we have to knock on it to open. All right? All right, ready? Knock, knock, knock. Open. Wow. Ooh. And then we make a big deal about these blocks. But with any kind of container, with anything, and I'll do another video where I teach the whole how I work on knock knock open throughout your daily routines, because that's such a powerful early gesture to teach, and one that kind of gets that early communication going. All right, so once they've done the knock knock and we've opened it, I'm gonna be the keeper of the pieces. I'm like, wow. And then I might give them a couple to start. So I give them a couple, they build it, and then I'm like, oh, and they're gonna have to request for more. So requesting, even though we don't want requesting to be the only type of communication, it's a good one to start with. It's a good early thing to ask children to do. So how are they gonna request? Maybe we are only working on that knock knock open. So every time they knock on it, knock knock open, ooh, green, black, and then we do it again. And what we're doing, why we do this, is we want to provide a lot of practice. We want to provide a lot of language opportunities. Do we know they want this whole thing of blocks and they want to build? Absolutely. We could just give it to them and they could go to town. But that's not going to work on those skills, right? That's not going to provide those opportunities to practice. So we're going to keep this closed. Every time we are going to hold it in our lap, and they are going to learn that in this time where we're practicing this skill, you don't have to do this all day, every day. We don't want your children to become frustrated or think that every time you play with them that you're going to be placing all these demands on them. But when you want to really work on their language skills, so during just like one activity of the day, do this. So hold on to it, and every single time we're getting a block, knock, 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 open. Here's another one, and keep doing it over and over. If you start to see them getting a little frustrated, maybe you don't need to do this with 30 blocks or so. You know your own child. You can feel them out and stuff, but really great way. If they are beyond that, where they can do the knock knock open, maybe we go from knock knock, we're pausing. If you've seen some of my videos before, we talk a lot about the pausing, and we want them to do the O for open. They might not can say open yet, but they can maybe do the O, and really show your mouth. Be very animated and exaggerated. So they've knocked, but we want them to do more. We've always modeled open. We've always added that extra step. So they've knocked, and I'm pointing. Oh, great job, open. And we're building from there. And then we can work toward open. But like I said, if you want to see that whole spiel, I will do a video on that, of how to work on the knock knock open kind of gesture word pairing. It's such a good one to work on as you play. But anyways, other things you can do for these children who are at this level is they have some signs. Maybe you're working on signs. Maybe you're working on more or want. They can request by doing that, and then you can work on more. Yes, more. And they might not have that R, so it might just send like m or mo, something like that. Words do not have to be perfect. Them simplifying words, them making what we call an approximation, so something close to that word, is what we expect children to do. So that's what we want. They'll get the, correct pronunciation later on. But that is how we do this, and we just want them to request. So again, we're closing it every time. Maybe they're signing for more, maybe they're doing this for want, whatever that might be. That's kind of like our next step. And then again, from there, we just keep building up our language. So maybe we're starting to use some words and we want to incorporate some choices. It's like, all right, now, do you want the blue block or the red block? And at first they might just go to grab it. So they go to grab this red one, and you're like, you want the red block. And so you're modeling that word. You're giving them the word, right? We're going to do that several times. And then we ask them again, do you want the blue block or do you want the red block? And so they are going towards the blue, but we're like holding on to, we're like, okay, give me a little bit more. So, you know, do you want blue or red? Oh, you want blue. And so we're trying to get some vocalization. We're trying to get maybe an approximation of the word. Again, we're building up. So yes, we want to accept if they vocalize, or we want to accept if they're using that gesture. And we're always going to model kind of like that one step up. Even if they do say, you offer them, you know, blue or red, and they say red, we're going to say, yes, red block. So we're going to even build it up even further. They said red, we're going to model that two-word phrase. We're always thinking of that next step. All right, so you can do that through the whole bag too, giving them choices. What do they want? Over and over and over. Or even, you know, when we're building it up and we say, do you want to, you know, make a house or a tower? Or do you want to make a boat or a car? Just giving them choices, giving them different things to pick from, using their imagination as you build with the blocks. And that's, as they get older, that's the great things you can work on, is building up their imagination, working on those higher level language skills. So, you know, where's the green block? What's behind? It's behind the blocks. Where is it now? It's in front of the block. So maybe on top or under. So maybe you're working on those spatial concepts, those location phrases. So you can see as they get older, we can increase their vocabulary, increase their language skills, and work on different things, all with them playing with these simple blocks. You can ask WH questions. What block do you want next? What do you want to build? Or whose turn is it? Or, you know, where is the green block? It's under, or it's on the bottom. So even incorporating those WH questions into those spatial concepts. But I hope this gives you some fun ideas to play with your children with these blocks. A lot of times, even if you have multiple kids, like in my house, you know, I have at the time of this video, I have a 1-year-old through an almost 7-year-old. We're at very different language levels. I have a 1, 3, 4, and almost 7. We're at very different language levels, but they all want to play with these blocks. So when I'm playing with them, when we're building, I am modeling different things. I'm doing different things with them and just being creative with it. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if y'all have these blocks, how y'all like to play with them, the silly games you like to do with them in the comments. And if you don't have these blocks, I will link it in the description. Again, these are the Fisherprice Megablocks. They come with like there's 80 pieces in here. And there's also, if you have girls, there's a fun pink set as well, pink and purple set. I'll link that. Again, great gift idea for children that don't have these. And thank you all so much for watching. If this video was helpful, I would love if you hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more speech and language tips. I talk about a lot of different toys. We're going to keep talking about different toys, how you can play with your child with those toys, and make language learning fun through play, because children do learn through play. So thanks again, and I will talk to y'all in the next video. Bye.